Plus Sports and PlusTvAfrica on a Friday morning. The weekend is here, rest is near. My name is Wale Scott, welcome on the show. Too many things to discuss this morning. I have a guest that would dissect, I can assure you, he will dissect it for us. But the one you don't understand, the viewer, I'll explain to you before we start dissecting, so you won't get confused in the course of it. Now, top Nigerian Professional Football League coaches and players have urged unattached Super Eagles players to emulate Ahmed Musa by joining clubs in the local league in a bid to stay in shape and boost the image of the NPFL. Eagles captain Musa on Tuesday completed a short-term move to Kano Pillars for the remainder of the season, a move NPFL coaches and players believe will give the league a facelift. 20-year-old starred for Pillars in 2009 and ended the NPFL season as the top scorer before his move to VVV Venlo. Musa becomes the sixth notable Eagles star to return to the NPFL after the likes of Rashidi Yekini, Daniel Amokachi, Sani Keita, Juwon Oshaniwa, and Michael Uchebo. Now, I've got Sheung on the show. Good morning, Sheung.
Good morning.
Sheung Adidagba, good morning.
To join you. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to join you on PlusTvAfrica.
Good to have you here. Now, other coaches and players, former ones, are urging other unattached Super Eagles players to join Nigerian Premier League sides, saying that Ahmed Musa's journey into the Nigerian League is good for the brand of our league.
I laugh in Greek. The reason I'm laughing is because we need to ask ourselves, are we running a professional league that will attract those people to come home and retire? Anytime I speak with you, Wale, because I know you're highly cerebral also, I keep drawing the inference of service-oriented and profit-oriented. Service-oriented is to government because what they do is show off. You can imagine Enyimba building a stadium, the governor, and less than 2 weeks, they came to do a campaign on that same stadium, park cars on the field. It's only in Nigeria that you have people do that. But if this was run by a private person, I'm sure that person would not have done that. Now, people who are agitating for players who are unattached, the likes of John Ogu and some other people struggling to come home, the question is, what are the measures put in place for them to come home and play? I can tell you for free that Ahmed Musa will not go and play away matches, traveling on the road for several hours. He will only play matches at home. Don't forget that this same thing was muted by the league management company when Joseph Yobo was having the same thing also. It didn't come to fusion. So for Ahmed Musa to come and play in Nigerian League, it would have been better if we were running our league professionally. I keep telling you, Wale, that in England, most of those guys are home-based players. The only two foreign-based players that they know they have on top of my head is Jordan Sancho of Borussia Dortmund and Kylian Trippier of Atletico Madrid. It's because they made their league viable. Let me drift a little bit. You saw the statement released by Vandrezzer. People who want to run a league professionally, look at what they did. Look at how they were embarrassed. People are shooting a game with 8 cameras. And it's a problem in our league.
Now, you mentioned Vandrezzer. Sheung, you mentioned Vandrezzer. I don't want to digress yet. I want to first of all go to Gernot Rohr, who has been speaking from two sides of his mouth. First of all, the man said, I will only call players who are playing regularly for their clubs, and their clubs are relatively good clubs. Then he calls Ahmed Musa, who was a clubless captain, a non-playing captain. And then now that Ahmed plays in the Nigerian Premier League, and he has said, I will not use any player from the Nigerian League, what is he going to do now?
But I've always told you, Gernot Rohr is a joker. And you can play. And the people who gave him job, the NFF, they are to blame also. Where is it happening anywhere in the world? I don't have anything against Ahmed Musa. Arguably one of our best players at the World Cup, has served the Super Eagles very well, has done well, but you are not playing. Let somebody get the clip of General when he was signing the contract as the Super Eagles manager. He said invitation to national team will be meritorious. Where is the meritocracy in what General is doing to invite Ahmed Musa for the game against Benin Republic and Lesotho? And he threw it in our face. He embarrassed a whole lot of Nigerians with his statement of he is a non-playing captain. So Ahmed Musa now is a motivational speaker. Somebody who does not have a club is a motivational speaker to come and address. The question is, where are the other guys in the team? Now, he first made that statement. He didn't tell us he was a non-playing captain. It was when Nigerians were outraging and venting their anger was when he said he was a non-playing captain, because he wanted to just throw it on our face. But guess what? A non-playing captain eventually played. He played at the Teslim Alegu Stadium. He came on for Kelechi Iheanacho. It means that he doesn't care about you people. But I keep saying something. General is not a coach. All we do in Super Eagles is vibes and inshallah. And you will hear people talking about he qualifies us with 1 game to spare, 2 games to spare. Who cares? Who cares about qualification? What matters is what you do in the tournament. And I keep telling you, Wale, I draw an inference that is understandable to people who are watching us this morning. If myself and Wale Scott are seeking for admission into the university, and I came in through the merit list, and Wale came in through the third list, or call it the V6 list, at the end of our 4-year program or 5-year program, if Wale Scott finishes with first class and I finish with a third class, who remembers how we came in?
True.
All that matters is Wale Scott is a first class student. True. The question is, when we go for tournaments, what has been our performance? We went to the World Cup, we progressed. We went to the Nations Cup, we won bronze. Bronze that Nigeria has been christened to the team that usually win bronze at the Nations Cup. So what are we talking about? Now this man is speaking with the 2 sides of his mouth. You are talking about people who play regular. Now, you will see, he will invite him for Nations Cup. Let's not playing away matches, because you will rarely see Ahmed Musa go on the road to play away matches, because he cannot afford to travel several hours on the road, except he wants to foot the bills of the players of Kano Pillars, or the governor, Ganduje, will be flying them to every venue. That's the only reason Ahmed Musa will be playing away matches. But in the league, how many of those players has he picked? How many of these players has he given an opportunity? It's a problem. And I will not say anything again about General, because the employers love him so much. That's the problem we have with General.
He's playing ball. He's doing the right thing for the employers to like him. Well, that's talk for another day. Sheon, please stay tuned. I want to try and explain something to our viewer before I go to the next topic now. Let me read them the story first. Now, Nigeria may miss out of the World Athletics Relays due to the crisis rocking the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, that's the AFN. Now, the World Athletics Relays is built to hold in Silesia, Poland, between May 1st and 2nd. But Nigerian athletes may not be able to compete as the country is yet to send in representatives for the event. Now, the Ibrahim Gusau-led AFN had fixed March 29th and 30th for the national trials at the Adoke Amesi Maka Stadium in Port Harcourt, which was served as qualifiers for the World Athletics Relays, but for some time things change. Now, if you are a viewer out there and you don't understand what's happening, let me explain to you so that our analysis can be, it's like giving you expo this morning. Now, the AFN at a point was sent money by the World Athletics Federation. Unfortunately, they sent money. The monies to have been sent, they oversent that money. And then there were complaints, and somebody was punished abroad for oversending money. But in Nigeria here, we refused receiving money. We said we didn't see the money, as usual. So the money that was oversent and the one that was sent, we said we didn't see any money. Which accounts did it go into? We didn't know. Up until it now became a big problem. The AFN in board went to court, took themselves to court, and then the Minister of Sports, this is something I didn't like. He came out and said, I will pay the money gradually. This is sum first. That's not the question. The question is, somebody should be punished. Where did the money enter? Into which account? Why is the minister paying? Okay, now, Sheung, I'm sure the viewer has an idea of what's going on now. The AFN again. Let's start with the money issues. The monies that were oversent, which accounts did it go into? Minister, instead of settling the matter and finding out which account, who should be punished, said he will pay the money back to the athletics body, and matter ends.
06 hash.
Hello, Sheung. Hello, Sheung. Okay, I think I lost him there. We'll continue to try and call Sheung now. Of course, it's really sad to note that our AFN body is in court as we speak. And, well, Ibrahim Gusso is supposedly saying, I'm still the head. The court is saying, well, the case is still in court. Some other person is saying, George is saying, I'm the head. And because of all this drama, we might miss out on the World Athletics Opener in Poland because we haven't even sent representatives yet to represent Nigeria in any of the track and field events yet. I think it's truly, truly sad that these people let their ego affect the improvements and the future of our sport at different levels, at different spheres, because of their ego. You want to go to court. Money was sent to which account? Tell us which account it is. Whoever should be punished, but no, you're not in Nigeria. The guy who sent the money abroad mistakenly has been punished. In Nigeria here, we don't even know which account he was sent it to yet. Talk less of punishing someone. And of course, the matter is in court now. Somebody is saying, I am the head. The other one is saying, I am the head. Just like in the MBBF, Basketball Federation, the AFN is split too. They are in court right now. And because they are in court, because of ego issues, they are ego tripping, we don't have representatives to actually represent us in Poland on May the 1st and 2nd, just a few days away. I don't want to use the word weeks. I don't know if I have Sheung back on the phone. Hello, Sheung. I do have Sheung back. Okay, we'll continue trying. I'll go to my next story at this juncture. Of course, matches were played yesterday in the Europa. Arsenal coach Mikel Arteta was delighted with his team's efficiency as they crushed Slavia Prague 4-0 in the second leg of the Europa League quarterfinals. His team scored 3 times in a 7-minute spell in the first half to settle the tie, having drawn the home leg 1-0. Villarreal stand between Arsenal and a place in the finals, and their head coach is the man Arteta replaced, Unai Emery. Now, Arteta also said that striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang missed the game after being diagnosed with malaria. He is recovering at home after hospital treatments.
We came into a tough place. This team hasn't lost at home, I think, in almost 2 years. So to do what we've done tonight, credit to the players for how they approached the game and how brave they were in our approach. And then I think when we demand them efficiency, I think today is a good example of the level of efficiency that you need to win matches in Europe away from home like this. Yeah, absolutely. Not only that, I think the reaction, the moment Emile scored the goal and the goal was disallowed, the team straight away reacted and they wanted more. Again, we were brave, we were really efficient in our high place, we put them under a lot of pressure. And then when we had to make the decision with the balls in the final thirds, I think we were really clinical.
And finally,
yes, it will be a tough game, Villarreal, a top side, and Unai is the most successful manager in this competition. So we know, enjoy tonight. We're going to have time to prepare that one and no time to prepare Fulham on Sunday, but this is where we are. I don't know. It certainly was one of the most important games. We know how important the competition is for the club, for ourselves, and for the fans. And today we brought a difficult result back from the Emirates because we weren't that efficient on the day. And today we showed completely the opposite resilience in the opponent's box to kill the way in the moment we had the momentum and the opportunity in the game to kill it.
Something that was discussed before.
Yeah, they asked me and the club that they wanted to take that initiative, and they had the right reasons for it. So the club was very supportive. I was supportive, and thankfully the referees and UEFA as well, they've been supportive. So I think it was a good gesture.
And
to watch them play, to watch them every day in training, how they behave, the passion and the commitment that they have for their club, and then how much they like to play football. And you have to let them express. You have to give them certain work frame to work and some ideas of how they can exploit their qualities, and then it's up to them. And I thought that both of them were really, really good today.
Gunners coach and legend Mikel Arteta. Sean, welcome back.
Yes. Just very quickly, on the issue of the athletics you just said, just one word.
Yeah.
I thought Mr. Sunday Kindari, the Honorable Minister for Youth, Sports and Social Development, would do something different from what we saw from Barrister Solomon Dalong. Unfortunately and coincidentally, permit me to use those two English, he is towing the same line, because the problem and the limbo and the crisis that we are experiencing in athletics now can be put on his doorstep. Because he's taking sides rather than trying to mediate, he decided to pitch his tent with Olamide George. I don't know what he has against Ibrahim Guzo, but he is the problem of athletics as we speak. And I owe him no apology for that. Because all he should have done is to try and mediate and find a lasting solution. But what he has done is to take sides.
Now, my question would be, because of all these court cases, all this brouhaha and all that, our athletes will not be represented in Poland on May 1st and 2nd. This is affecting this. I don't care about their court cases and their ego tripping and all that, but it's affecting the sports. That's my problem.
That's the problem. That's the problem. When two elephants fight, the grass suffers. You saw the statement from the senior special advisor to the Minister for Sport on Media, Mary Onyali, about Pepu, Sunday Adeleye, and then of course Ibrahim Guzo, that they came for the National Sports Festival, that they should use their power and mind to chase them away. You can imagine how we have condescended so low. Look at our athletes; they are the ones suffering from it now. All this infighting, all these crises that are happening with these people who cannot sheath their swords. And these people will tell you that they have the interest and the passion of the sport at heart, but they don't have anything, because all they are fighting for is their personal gain.
Let's start from this, Seun. I think that the problem started from when this money was sent mistakenly and we refused to handle that issue from day one. The questions we're asking now is, that money initially, the person who sent it has been punished abroad. But in Nigeria here, which accounts did it enter? Should somebody be punished for it? If yes, who has been punished? And then we move on from there. Instead of pretending like that doesn't exist, Minister says, I'll pay the money back to you guys. Don't worry, forget the matter. How can you put a matter that big under the carpet?
It's Nigeria now. What is happening in our sports is a reflection of the country. So let's just leave it at that. What is happening in our sports is a reflection of the country. In Senate clients, people maybe for incidents that are not directly attached to them because they feel embarrassed. But in Nigeria, we don't get. I know they shame, so it's not a problem.
It's so sad. So if we're going to find a solution to this problem, Seun, is it by, first of all, ending the court cases? The minister should become more unbiased in his reaction to this AFN matter?
You can imagine that people are complaining. We are going for the Olympics. The Tigers and the Tigress, no home-based player in their midst. How would they pick any player? Even for the basketball team, when was the last time we played a league match? It was close to 3 years ago, or more than 3 years ago, that we have what looked like a league game. Now, in the NBA, the memory that I have says that we have 84 matches in regular season, even before you go into the playoffs. This season, because of COVID, maybe they'll be having like 72 or 72 matches in the regular season. In Nigeria, even when there was no fighting between Tijani Umar and of course Musa Kida, the number of matches that they play in both Savannah and Atlantic Conference and the Final Eight is not up to 24 matches. So you now want a coach, Mike Brown, to pick a player from the league. Is it a comatose league that is dead and very? Because all our sports are played in the court. It has been politicized. And that's why I'm telling you that, Wale, I felt some persons would have taken the word of the Secretary of the Federation and the Chairman of the Presidential Task Force, Boss Mustafa Serious, when he said prior to reopening of sports that sport in Nigeria is is a joke as compared to what we see in Sena climes. So it's a reflection of what the man said. Is it not happening now? Are we running sports? We are joking.
So what is it's convenient for us to continually find the problems, identify the problems. But if you were given the chance, just assume that Seun Ajidagba is given the chance, what do you think will be, maybe not a lasting solution, but at least a stopgap?
The stopgap is to bring the two warring peoples to the round table and have a meeting with them, not taking sides, and tell them that for the sake of the progress of the sport, one day there was a time we were dominant in athletics, not in Africa, because we conquered Africa, in the world. But we are nowhere to be found anymore. It's to bring that to the table and say, can you people shift your sword and allow the sport to thrive?
But yes, I know I said a stopgap, but the same problem in NFN exists in the MBBF. You mentioned the Tigers a few minutes ago. It's everywhere, and they've been doing that, and it's not working.
It is what it is. Like I said, people don't have the interest of the sport at heart. They have the interest of their pockets. And until we have the interest of sport, which is development, look at what even happened at the National Sports Festival, the joke that we went to do. If the deputy governor of a state and the chairman of the committee can be part of a competition, you saw what happened in the football final now?
I did.
The bloodkeeper eyes, they still scored an illegitimate goal, but referee had to count it because the deputy governor was on the field.
Of course.
It's only in Nigeria that this kind of things will happen. It doesn't happen in St. Klein.
Okay,
so
Seun.
we are, like I said, we are doing jeun, and let's continue to do our jeun.
Seun, thank you very much for coming on the show this morning. And I'm hoping that I can actually get you on the show tomorrow morning. It's for 1 hour, 11 to 12. I'll try and find you on that one. Don't worry.
Please, I will be glad to do so.
We'll talk about that tomorrow.
And have a great day.
Yes, same to you. Okay, now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer believes it's time for Manchester United to end their poor run in semi-finals after making the last 4 of the Europa League. His team had a comfortable 2-0 win over Granada in their quarter-final second leg to complete a 4-0 aggregate win. Solskjaer has lost 4 semis out of 4 so far, but says he sees the hunger and motivation in his players to end that sequence, adding winning a trophy could be a catalyst to his squad. Paul Pogba, who sets up Edison Cavani's opener, was named captain for the night.
Yeah, let's hope so. You know, when you get to a semi, that's the nature of the game. You're playing against good teams. We played against some good teams, so but we relish the chance again to go to a final. I think I've seen the determination, the attitude in every player that we want to go one further, because the disappointment of the defeats that we've had, they give us the motivation to go one step further and hopefully end the season on a high. No, Roma is a fantastic club with a great history, a great tradition, and some fantastic players through the years, of course. But they still have many good players that we know as well. So it's a game that we have to perform in. We know in a semi-final you have to play well because you're playing.
Manchester United manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They used to call him the baby-faced assassin. Now, Ralph Lauren unveiled the Team USA closing ceremony parade uniforms for the 2020 US Olympics and Paralympic teams. For these games, Ralph Lauren worked to use more sustainable materials and manufacturing practices across the Team USA collection. A number of USA Olympians are taking part in the current promotional campaign, including swimmers Katie Ledecky and Nathan Adrian. Ralph Lauren has been an official outfitter of Team USA since 2008, with the company stating that all revenues from the sales of the Ralph Lauren Team USA collection, which are manufactured in the United States, support the US Olympic team. Now, the Boston Celtics extended their winning streak to 5 games with a comfortable win over a weakened Los Angeles Lakers in the NBA on Thursday. Still without the injured duo of LeBron James and Anthony Davis, the Lakers didn't have any body reached 20 points at the Staples Center, Talon Horton Tucker scoring 19. Boston also had one man reach that mark, but Jaden Brown had a hugely impressive night, scoring 40 points and adding 9 rebounds. The win sees them join the Atlanta Hawks with a 30-26 record in the Eastern Conference. The Lakers also occupy 5th spot in the West, but they are now 75 games back from the Utah Jazz.
Husband back. That's why I wouldn't be sweating where they are right now. What a pass. Inside, here comes Thompson. Lurking there was Kuzma, who collapses on Tristan, and he got it to go. Aforementioned Tatum with the matchup on Schroeder. Under 3 weeks. Oh my God. Combinations. We'll get into that more in the...
Now, Lewis Hamilton has praised the inspiring legacy of Prince Philip as Formula One prepares to pay tribute with a minute's silence before qualifying at Imola on Saturday. Hamilton, who was knighted last year, had not spoken about Prince Philip's death last Friday, aside from reposting Vogue's Instagram tribute with the words, "So sad, my thoughts and prayers go out to the royal family." Speaking ahead of this weekend's Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, Hamilton said the Duke of Edinburgh was such a racing fan. It's so sad to hear of his passing. The Duke of Edinburgh died at the age of 99 on Friday, and his funeral is to be held at St. George's Chapel, Windsor, at 3 p.m. on Saturday, 17th April. This weekend's F1 race schedule has been revised to prevent the qualifying session from clashing with the funeral, bringing it ahead by an hour.
The Duke of Edinburgh was such a racing fan, and it's so sad to hear of his passing. I think he had a really great long life, and I know he was really committed to have an impact in helping young people and inspiring. I think it's really inspiring the legacy he's left behind.
You know, my relationship towards Lewis is the same as it is with a lot of the drivers up and down the paddock, which is completely fine. So there's no hard feelings or no issues between myself and Lewis.
Look at last year, we were, I think, quite competitive here, and it's a great track to drive in general. So, yeah, I just look forward to this weekend. I hope that the car is again very competitive, but I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be.
You know, on my side, that I made very clear. You know, I want to listen as much as Fernando. Of course, he's bringing his experience, which is great and which is always a bonus. But yeah, as soon as we talk about details with the car, we are equal on that.
Well, that's all we have on the show today. The weekend is here and rest is near. Plus Sports and PlusTvAfrica on a Friday morning. Join us tomorrow on Plus Sports Special, 11 to 12. Of course, it's our special bumper package, I can assure you. Thank you very much, Shema Jidagba, for joining us today. And of course, you'll be with us again tomorrow, 11 to 12 on Plus Sports Special. My name is Wale Scott. Like I always advise you at the end of every show, if not for anything, at least for your heart, do some sports.